Gene Chalut hits me up. Let's do a concert. We're going to do a concert with CeCe Winans. Mes amis. Whoa, ho, ho. It's now I'm going to know what it looks like for business to be business. I will be sharing so much about my experience. My 20th year as an entrepreneur. So much I'm going to tell. 2007 is here. Every year, new me, blah, 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 I'm getting ready to make it happen. But you still have the same issues. There's no funding like that. I was predominantly in the Christian community because in my mind, everything outside of Christian is not good. But now I'm starting to get phone calls on what it looks like to plan concerts. But let's fast forward real quick. Let's go back to the fashion show. So 2007 was my biggest show. I must say shout out to Remsen Church of God that used to come to my concerts and fashion shows specifically. Remsen was in there heavy. A couple other people, but I remember Remsen specifically. That was really always there. Ebenezer too. They really came out, and it was just good years, man. So fashion show, now I'm learning different names, manager, interior designer, backstage person, all these names, but no money to connect to these names. You know what I'm saying? And because the reality is, in a business, is something I'll share with you guys. In a business, you need to be able to have three people. There's three things that someone should be able to contribute to your space if they're actually joining you. Time, talent, or treasure. Very rare you can only give one. I'll give an example. Most likely you can't only do time because you don't have enough of it. Often I can't only be a talent because of the world we're living in now. It's normally a time and talent. The only time you could be treasure only is treasure if you got enough money to cover all three. So every time I had staff or people that had to come in and work with me, I couldn't ask them to do full-time position things where I can barely have $1 to give them. Because everything we're doing is almost at breaking even point. I remember now it's time to do this fashion show. We got Shirley St. Jean to be the interior designer. Petite Shirley from Depan. Shirley's like, yo, we're going to put the curtains. And it was great. But I was like, Shirley, we can't afford this. But I had to because we're growing, right? But remember, a lot of people wasn't feeling me for whatever reasons. Yo, fashion show, Jackson putting all the money in his pocket. Yo, we're not getting paid. I'm too much for color. Everybody's upset. And I'm like, yo, models, now I'm starting to hear models talk about, yo, what's up, where the money going? And I realized, no offense to any of you guys, I realized how dumb people were though. And I say that really because people didn't do their own math. It's like, okay, if this place holds 300 people, there's 200 people here, 250. The place had to be rented. There had to be this. There had to be a makeup. What money? But what happened sometimes, and I'll say on my end, is it's very important to communicate. One thing I'm going to tell you guys in business that's very important, put out expectation, what you're expecting, scope of work, have everybody sign it, everybody move forward, done. Do not use the word I assume. Don't assume, don't think. Make it plain. I had that issue growing up because to me, I'm like, yo, Even today, I've changed that recently about me. Because I'm like, yo, duh. Like, isn't it obvious? No, nothing's obvious if they're not looking from your perspective. How about that? And that's the truth. So Kunyemba, I didn't have as much designers, right? Shout out to Marcello, that's out of Arkansas, that did almost every last show we ever had. Shout out, my dog. Shout out. So Marcello, he's a designer. He stayed on with me. And now I'm out of designers. And I looked at Vinny. I said, Vinny, I need your help. I said, I believe in you. I need you to become a stylist and a designer. Vinny was like, me? Like, what? I said, no, you're going to do it. You know how to dress, figure it out. Let me just say, Vinny is one of the biggest designers in the world right now. Vinny even worked on Black is King. We're doing fashion shows with Lakai Entertainment. We took a risk on each other because I already had a little platform. So Vinny could have clearly messed it up, but I believed in him so much. He had an amazing support system from his sisters and his play aunties that he grew up with that pretty much supported him and made it all work. So that fashion show that year was amazing. Kunya, right next. I want to please the people. There's a bunch of people that said we want after party. What after party could you really do for the church community where the average person, I didn't know what it meant to have a bar guarantee. You need to spend this amount of money. So me and Delroy still got beef because he locked the doors on us. So now I'm like, yo, I'm going to do an after party. We're going to go to Delroy's Cafe on Duria. He's closed now anyway. Aduka. So Delroy's like, yo, Jackson, at first he's like, I love you as a young man. I got you. I guess he didn't know the crowd was Christian. Yo, man, he was like, what's the bar guarantee? Shut it down. But people were mad. I can't believe Jackson said he was going to have an after party. But no one knows the story. No one cares. No one realized there's no bar guarantee. You people don't drink. I didn't understand it either. But yeah, it was still a good fashion show. And that's the same year I say, you know what? Let me pivot a little bit. Kunya, Gene Chalut hits me up. Let's do a concert. We're going to do a concert with CeCe Winans. Mes amis. Whoa, ho, ho. We're going to go to, now let's go. Let's dig into it. It's now I'm going to know what it looks like for business to be business. CeCe Winans, now we're going through the concert. The church, Calvary at the time. Oh my God, I'm trying not to make this episode too long. The church, $5,000. Marketing, $5,000. CeCe Winans, $25,000 plus transportation hotel. But we got the church and we thinking everything is good. Flyers out. Esther did the flyer. Shout out to Esther, my sister, that protects me anywhere, in private or in public. Be careful. She will come for you. I'll say this on the record. Kunya, we got to send Dimitri the actual check. We sent them a certified check, flyers out. We get a message that they never got the check. Post office lost the check. It's going to take about a week for them to refund it or two to get them back. Oh, y'all didn't know this. CeCe Winans' manager canceled the concert. We couldn't tell the crowd. What are we going to do? We can't tell the crowd. Concert's canceled. So finally, Now, oh, shout out to my dumb way, my wife, the mother of my kids. Between her, Esther, Jean, literally turn around and put the money. I remember she got her income tax at the time. Oh, it's on me. I'm Lord. She literally gave me the whole income tax and said, throw it towards the concert. We were able to wind up paying Cece, hold the date down with a deposit. Finally, when they get the money came and whatever, we handled that. Now, tickets are slow. The church community doesn't understand what it looks like to support a concert. A concert like CC Winans, if there's not 2,000 people in the room, or at least 1,800, you're going to lose. So now we putting it together. And I didn't know even in the church world, there's things on a contract that's like subliminal. Ladies and gentlemen, Jean Shulute, my brother. You remember this, Benjamin. Friday or Thursday before the concert, Vernon Isaac, my dog, won't ever forget you, till earth do us part, hits us up and says, yo, oh, you thought that $5,000 was for sound and usher? That $5,000 was just for 5 walls. The floor, the ceilings, and the 2 walls on the side. Could you imagine? You have a concert that's about to happen, and now they're telling you, you got to pay for usher. You have the ushers at the church ushers that probably work, I don't know, no offense, I don't know where they work, so I'm not even saying that so they don't come for me. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I'm like, y'all usher at the church every Sunday morning. Y'all tripping. Now everybody wants a bag. Security. Let's get even deeper. Their sound system wasn't sufficient enough for CC Winans' concert. A concert that was $52,000. Gene, you remember this like clear day. A few days before the concert, the budget was now $68,000. And one of my partners lost a swat of cash that was ticket money that came in. I'm not gonna tell you which partner. And guess what? We had to Mari Asenti, tie our ways together and figure it out. Finally, long story short, story was long, but whatever. Concert happened. I wound up getting Nyack College to sponsor a bit. When going for sponsors, here's a learning part. You want to always try to find sponsors that match what you're doing. For example, we went after Colgate. But then anybody knows CC Winans has like these perfect teeth. It was like, this is a great opportunity. It was like, no. Okay. Nyack College wound up sponsoring at the time a little check, you know what I mean, which we were grateful for. Sponsored us, and we were able to nudge the budget a little bit, and we wind up finishing that concert, which was an amazing concert that happened in 2007, which was very pivotal for me in my music career, well, my entrepreneurship career when it came to coordinating, because I learned so much about budgeting and sponsorship and so on and so forth. And it also kept showing me how far my community was when it came to putting some of these things together. So from 2007 now, you guys might ask, hey, what's going on in school? 2007, I was kicked out of my school. I came from Berkeley to BMCC. I just couldn't focus on school. School wasn't my thing. Remember, I barely finished high school, but now let me tell you a funny story. So I had Professor Maxwell, CIS at Berkeley. He loved the fact that I played drums. So I'd miss his class all the time. But we cool, my boy. Whoop, 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 whoop. Chilling, talking. So one day, Professor Maxwell was going to give grades. When, he gave his grades. So that's my man. We talk sports, we talk music, we're good money. Great. All of a sudden, I look at Blackboard. I seen the biggest F of all time for the class. I gotta find him. I ran to Maxwell. I was like, yo, Maxwell. I found him in the teacher's lab. Bro, you loved my playing. You loved the fact that I used to walk in with my drumsticks on the side. Sometimes I would come from the airport because Eston friends had to be in Florida and I was with them on one of those type of hits. He said, Jackson, I love you, the person, but you're still a student here. That was another lesson of life is one thing, but your business in the life is another. Take care of your business. That was my last time failing a class like that because I've learned how to separate things. So from that, from the concerts, I'm balancing college. Then that's when I stepped away from college and said the college thing isn't for me. But we're going to leave this for the next episode. You know what? I'll give it to you what we're about to jump into. Remember now, I'm doing concerts. I'm planning concerts. Here's the biggest thing I'm about to jump into. Management. Jackson managing artists. In 2008 was the beginning of me managing artists. See you soon. Don't miss that episode. Peace. In 2008 was interesting. Again, fashion shows are continuing and happening, but I entered the management world that year. I would grind and get them dates. And one of the biggest things that I realized when it came to artists is artists oftentimes didn't understand the level of work it took for them to be out there.